my bun was up there so tight when I washed my face. That I was like, well, I'm just gonna see if I can keep it on the whole time I'm recording. It's on so tight, but we'll see how this goes. Sometimes it just starts. It'll just all of a sudden start feeling like it's like 100 pounds on top of my head. Um. Anyways, this whole night, it's only 3, and this whole night has been so weird. So weird. I don't even, man, I don't even know. All my days and everything, it just keeps getting weirder and weirder. I don't know. It's kind of spooky, honestly. You know, it'd be nice too. I just ate like a biscotti with my tea, and I feel like I got chocolate on my teeth. Hold on. I made more of those pretzels too. Man, those are freaking good. But I'm so wheezy. Stella can barely walk. I am not even kidding you. Oh my God, she can. If I wasn't doing all these detoxes, there's no way she could survive this. No fucking way. We are under such attack. And to me, it's so fucking ridiculous. Like how the precipitation just doesn't end. Okay, I think it's maybe because I moved my head around that it starts feeling heavy. It is it's ridiculous. Like it's raining so freaking hard. Like, oh man, I'm so sick of this shit. I did see a couple of birds and squirrels yesterday, so I'm hoping they didn't all die. I just couldn't believe how many there were, and then as soon as they changed storms again, I don't remember. It's just everything is becoming such a whirlwind to me. But it is weird. It is kind of disorienting, you know, not to have another person to like ground your mental state to. Just way out there at this point. And I am not. I mean, my attachment to this place is so strange. Like time is part of your attachment, and I think that is why time is becoming so elusive to so many people, because time isn't real. It's created. And I just saw a thing yesterday too explaining about a lot of people have been talking about, like, it's so weird, we're doing the new year right now. How is it the new year when we're not even starting the new year? And going through and doing the history of how they designed the calendar and how many times it changed hands and control and what it was based on and stuff. And yeah, I mean, this whole thing is ridiculous. Like, and it is to just keep us completely off balance, which I'll tell you one thing too, is what trips me out is the more, you know, when I listen to people talk, the more I can see that some of the things as they think of as gifts, it's an attack, some of the things they think of as, oh my God, as gifts, I have always had just naturally, you know. I didn't know it was like something everybody else didn't have, like I said before. And so now it's just weird when I know I talked about this before, but I just heard this woman. I had a few things that was triggered. I went on TikTok on purpose to try and see, and to me there is like a really weird energy about I'll tell some, but this one, I had never seen this woman before. I don't think. I wasn't following her, so I started following her now. But she was talking about the testing in the schools, and so that they could track down, like there was a whole thing in the 40s where they did all of these tests on the students so that they could track down who was gifted and stuff, because they've been tracking that stuff. And then when I had seen, you know, about Corey Good and the tests and stuff, and I saw that with my one daughter, is that she was taken as a gifted kid down to a center outside of the school where all these gifted kids were building robots or something. Like they were definitely, especially like the one kid who I know of that was in that too, and it ends up totally on drugs and stuff. Like some of the things I think they wanted to maybe put him off from the, I'm not really sure. Like this woman was talking, there's a whole bunch of stuff like it's coming out and stuff that the government was all involved with all of this. And so and Corey Good talked about, the testing, that's how they found him. But see, they've also known who to look for and who to watch. So there's been certain groups that are people who have been watched more. And it just trips me out as how when I was in school and they would give us those tests, my guides would tell me every fucking time, just fill in the dots, fill in the dots, fill in the dots. Don't do the test. They would just scramble my mind where I couldn't even be able to read it. And they would just tell me, fill in the dots. And it's just so funny is how I think I was perceived as a kid. And I can look back and see, like, it's just funny. I have one of my granddaughters, she's really lanky and gangly, like how I was, and she's got a lot of things that are really similar to me, which is the bumper to bumper. You remember how the generational thing that I said, how we have certain things we come in to learn with, like, the people on each side of us. And so our mom and our daughter, our dad and our son, like there's a thing that is so that we can learn it, because you can't just learn it from one life in one thing. You have to learn it through the generations because of all the perspectives that you gain from it. But they have to come together and heal their stuff in order to get the most benefit. And you can't force somebody to heal, it's a choice. But so with the generational, let me think now back where I was. But I'll just go back to the school thing, because now I feel like how much of my stuff that they were keeping hidden because of what it is that they were looking for. And it's something about, I think that we process differently or something, the ones that they were trying to find. Like, I think that the testing was set up kind of to weed through so that they could find these people, because for a lot of different reasons, so that they could get control. Because one of the things is said that they put them in positions like in different agencies where they could control these aspects. Like one thing I had heard a long time ago, that half of the NASA astronauts were attention deficit. And at the time I was like, okay, so we can still get ahead. It doesn't totally hold us back. But now I see it as like, oh, so see, they were purposely choosing to get some of these people who process differently, who think differently, who think more outside the box or something. Like, I don't know, like I've said before, I don't know how every single person perceives, but it is all in that perception and how they want to, use it and feed off it and control it. And they don't want, like, there's all this huge group of us that came in to spread it. And they don't want that. Like, oh, I can't even believe yesterday, all of 30 people heard me. 16, I think, on here and on YouTube or on TikTok. So I had made one video. It was about the Arkansas situation and telling people you got to stop complying. Like, and I'm telling you, if they set up, if they say, oh, this horrible crime, everybody's got to, we got to lock down, they're the ones doing the crimes to create the whole situation. And so I don't even know what I said on the video. Obviously, they couldn't just take it down. I mean, the stuff that they take down of mine is so, it's absurd. Like, I'm giving a perspective. And So anyways, those videos, I posted it, and then hours later, it still had like 5 views. I was like, okay, so they're totally holding it back, so I'll just do another one. And only this time I won't hashtag it. Yes, the other one I hashtagged awakening. So I thought I just won't hashtag anything. And I've been doing that a lot, just not hashtagging, thinking they can slide through. I still can't. They're just hold my videos. Like, it's so weird. Like yesterday, I even saw this guy's thing. He had 20,000 followers, and then on his likes, he had over 600,000. Mine, I have 27, which they hold that back so much. I can't even believe it. I can't even. And then 200,000 likes. Like, it's absurd. Like, it's so frustrating. At this point, it's very frustrating. I swear. I feel so, silenced for this whole time. And it's so crazy, too, how I just keep seeing these people talking about stuff I've been talking about for years. And then I'm just like, oh my God, this is going to be so freaking slow. Oh my God. Like, where people are just like, I swear something is really weird with the sky. I'm really embarrassed to say it. Like, I don't want anybody to think I'm crazy, but there's something weird, you guys. It's weird. There's something weird. Like, over and 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 over. It's like, come on, people. Like, there's that. Oh my Lord. So, I mean, I get what the universe, or, my communication is. I get what they say and stuff. It's going to be kind of like, because I know this, I'm not the only one. This is going through this, that would just be even stranger if I was the only one. But I think that there is going to be a bunch of us that are just, I swear to God, it's about the healing. A bunch of us who talk about certain things that are just gonna, like, it's gonna seem like we just come out of the woodwork or something, just all of a sudden just appear. And then it's gonna be like, oh my God, they've been saying this for 2 years or 3 years. God, who knows how long it's gonna go. One thing, though, that I was really happy about last night, I saw a video, General Flynn, saying that 2023 is going to be this is what we're all here for. Like, he said, like, this is going to be 2023 is going to be it. Like, where we're all like, my God, what am I here for? What is going on? Like, he was saying, it's a great time to be alive, and this is all going to make it, worth it or something. And I've seen some astrology people, too, talking about the alignments. And so there's a lot of stuff with that. And I have some other things that was coming into my mind at the same time as that. There was kind of a lot of different things. This is where there was more stuff. There's always so much more stuff with water in the food. So much more all the time. And people more and more. I mean, yesterday I saw a video of a lady who had been out running around or whatever. She stopped and got McDonald's, something she always liked. And then she was just sitting there holding this cheeseburger, and she's like, I just can't eat it. All I can think about is the little babies that made it. She's like, I can't do it. She's like, I just, it's like this whole moral thing that she was facing at that point, and she fed it to the dog. And people in the comments, you shouldn't even feed it to the dog. It's such garbage. I've been feeding Stella some of this stuff. Like, I'm shocked at some of this food bank food that I open up to feed her. And this is, humans consume this. Those, like, oh my God, it's so disgusting. Like, I'm sure all of the vegetables and stuff that we're getting are extra sprayed with extra poison, wash them. But, I mean, people are going down and paying huge amounts of money to get poison food. And the food is going up, but now there's people who are starting to get really kind of nervous. And, get extra when you go. And then I guess now they've outlawed any antibiotics to be sold over the counter, which is going to affect all the farms. And so this one lady was like, I mean, everybody's got to get it before June, but don't take it all because we all need it. This is going to this is going to really fuck us. Because it's the same with fish tanks and stuff. Because you can even go down and get like fish antibiotics for your dog and bypass the vet. Well, everything they're doing is so that we can't bypass their controlling medical system. And they are, doing everything they can to control that. The FDA, like, they're outlawing certain things. Like, it's so absurd, the stuff that they keep trying to do. I saw another thing too. What was that? The stuff I keep hearing is so absurd and so outrageous. And the people who are talking about it are super serious. Like, oh my God, what are we going to do, you guys? What are we going to do? And it's just like, this is just to wake people up. It's to wake people up. Once enough people have woke up, something's going to turn. We're going to be going the other direction. And so, this stuff has to get worse and worse and more absurd. And the more you see and hear people who keep going out and trying to partake in this system, and it just keeps blowing up in their face, one thing after another. Like, and I knew that was going to happen. I knew everything that people held on to and was trying to continue was just going to keep falling. It was just going to be blowing up in their faces. Like, just like the absurdity, because it's all about this change. It's this changeover. And nothing is going to stay how it was. And so, for some of us, it's just like, riding the thing, keep on, like, however it's going. It is like right now, it's kind of even like we're on the rapids on a raft or something. And some of us, have awareness of what's going on. And we're like riding it, with it, like bam, bam, like, come on. And then other ones are just completely have no idea what's going on. Just, and they're just being whipped around. And the more of these people just try and hold on. And it's just so crazy how they just block some of us for talking. And, because I know that there's certain of us that it's something about the awakening. Like when I even go and hear how everybody has different things that they say or talk about, and I can see that's their purpose. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to play that role. They're supposed to do that. It all goes together. And it's so crazy is it that there's these roles that are about to be like kind of revealed or something. And we're all like waiting at the gates, it feels like, for it to start. And what's weird too is that, when I really start thinking about like, going into the hospital and getting a brain injury and then being left like that. And just a lot of the different things that have happened to me in my life and energetically, and because it is weird, because I could hear the frequency from the time I was a little kid. I was constantly telling all the other little kids, you hear that? You hear that? You hear that loud sound? And everybody'd be like, no, what do you mean? And I'd be like, man. And I just was always able to see things. And I was always thinking things different. Like, I recognize now that I was different. Like, and I know that there's a bunch of people like me, but we're spread out or something. Like, I didn't know anybody like me. I still don't know anybody like me. Even when I try and talk about things that I go through, people don't understand it. When I say my guides told me blah, 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 well, no, you just go do blah, blah. And it's like, but that's not what they told me. Okay, well, why would you listen to voices in your head instead of listening? You know what I mean? It's like, I just don't get, I don't talk to people who understand in a way that I do. So And it has something to do with energy or something, because even back when I was a kid, I was constantly pointing out, why is the moon in the sky in the daytime? And nobody would listen. Now people can't stop talking about it. And it's like, okay, so how is this? So I could see this when I was a kid and was pointing it out, and nobody could hear me. Nobody was saying anything. And then even when I started really realizing, this world was like this three-dimensional picture, like it was so trippy, and everybody just thought I was going crazy. No, and I don't even know if people are at that point yet. I mean, I saw this one woman who was just talking about how bright everything is at night all of a sudden. Well, to me, it's brighter, it's louder, it's more intense. It is like, in this, however they class the riding the rapids, I think the higher the number, I think it goes to like a 5, could go to a 10. But that's what it's like, we're on this really choppy, intense part where you got to be paying attention. And what was I going to say? I just was seeing a bunch of flashes of a bunch of stuff. But that was one of the things that this lady was talking about, the things that they were looking for, is if you could see past what they show you. Well, I've always been able to see past. I didn't know it was a thing. I thought everybody could see past. I didn't know that the walls stopped some people from seeing. Like, I've always had inner vision, inner hearing, inner knowing, inner all of it. And I've always been super connected to that part. I did never get as connected to this other part as other people did or something. But so that's what they were looking for, was something about that. I think it's something about the vibration. And I think that is one of the things why I can hear the high-pitched frequencies so much, is it's something with our frequency. And I heard this other girl talking about this yesterday. She was, and I've seen her a few times, and I've talked about her before. But now she's really stepped into her own, like before she used to talk about some lady on YouTube that it seemed like somebody who, she seemed similar to me. And then this girl was listening to her. And so now she started her own. And so she's talking about a bunch of stuff. Oh, and she had wanted to interview that one little blue avian girl, which the blue avian girl yesterday, she did a light language. And she is just so cute because she is like a little old person in this body. And I love when she's like, indeed. Like, she is just... she just is, her mannerisms, she's just so cute. But she did the light language, and she said, please shut your eyes so you really absorb what I'm saying to you here. And so, I listened to it a couple times. I've listened to a few people with the light language, and then there's a bunch of people who do energy work. And then, I see these people who start being like, well, if you bought an old mirror, you need to do all this stuff. Like, you know how many old fucking mirrors I have in my house? Like, I just skip past those videos. I can't get into their fear and stuff of, like, somebody's gonna come out through the mirror. They're all around you. They don't have to go through the fucking mirror. They come anywhere they want to come. And everything carries energy. If you're going to get scared of every little fucking thing, then you're going to be scared of everything. Like, I don't go in and look in the mirror in the dark. Like, no. I'm in the bathroom even. I won't look at my reflection in the dark unless it is like a set thing that I'm doing for a certain reason. But no. Like, I don't look in the mirror in the dark. And I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, well, I'm just going to go in and curl all this stuff on it and stuff. Like, to me, you're giving it life then. You're giving it energy. You're creating a whole fear around it. So I had a few of those yesterday. I just go on by. I was like, they start talking. It's like, oh my God, I can't get your fear in my head. Like, because, and there's a lot of people who are seeing all sorts of stuff, when they're starting to realize there's beings around, and This one lady had this totally weird thing. She opened her Christmas present, was all excited, and she got some Stanley cup, some expensive cup, I guess. People want the most, oh yeah, it's $100 cup, but it's a Stanley cup. It's cool. It's real cool. I don't know how much it fucking is, but you know, whenever she got it as a gift, and she was so excited because it's too expensive. She wouldn't buy it for herself, so she got her a gift. I don't know how many people went in on her or whatever, but she was talking about how cool it was, and she loved the handle, and she went in the sink, and she's texting, thanking for it. She goes back to wash it. It no longer has a handle. And she's just freaking out. Like, what the fuck? So she was like, did I just jump into another timeline or something? And so you have a lot of stuff like with that. Like, a lot of people having just weird stuff happening. Really weird stuff all over the place. I just saw a bunch of lives where it was midnight over someplace. I think the people were talking like Korean or something like that. So over there somewhere, they were having this big outdoor ceremony with a lighting thing. I don't know. It just kind of was like, yeah, I just can't get in this judgment of everybody celebrating and being happy. And I do. I get so judgy about it. Just like, come on, people. Like, what is there to celebrate? Like, we're in the middle of a war. We are fighting for our fucking existence of humanity. And you're going out and just celebrating like everything is just fucking cool. Like everything is great. It's just like, man. But as like, it's all different perspectives. Like, I don't understand their perspective. Like, that's not my guidance. We all have our own. We all have our own stuff. And if I'm triggered by people enjoying their life, I've got an issue. And I've got to work on it. And because I do think that we all need to enjoy our lives. That's what I feel like that we're fighting for. But right now, it's like this mass control. And, you know, the weather and all of this, what they are doing, like it's... And I know that the whatever they're putting in, I was even thinking about just smushing up a cigarette and putting it in Stella's food. You know, I don't even know what to do at this point. Like, she can barely walk, and she was eating that motherfucking ice. And I have seen so many doctors and stuff now saying, do not drink the tap water. And like, how many people are? And how many people, like, in all these different things with these different poisons and stuff that people keep talking about. And all of these different foods. You know, I had some of that dry coffee mate for... in case, you know, this is... Now I'm off the creamer altogether. I've gone through all of the different ones to try and... It's just like, fuck it. Fuck it. They're all fucking poison. There's enough, you know, poison we're intaking. And so anyways, this woman was doing this TikTok because her mom had just got off the coffee mate and she was so excited. And so she said, I've seen where people, it starts on fire. And so we're going to try it and see if it really does. So they hold out a lighter and then they just sprinkle it and it flames. It's like fucking flame shooter. Fucking coffee mate. And then somebody said, well, try it with all these different products. Try with flour, sugar, cornstarch. She tried it with so many different, every, you know, binder thing that she had in there. And none of them did it except for the coffee mate. And it flames out. So I'm just going to, those are brand new. I'm just going to throw them just away. Like, and then even when I was giving stuff to the birds, it's like, fuck, am I giving them something that's like poisoning them because we're just eating fucking poison in here? Like, it's all we're fucking eating is goddamn poison. But, I kept thinking that when all these different things that happened through my life, it is like... For one thing, it was like, I feel like I was being kept hidden, kind of. Just the way that they would tell me, like, certain things throughout, you know, just like telling me not to fill in the dots on the test. I mean, just to fill in the dots on the test, not to try and figure out the test. And then, and we did those every year at school. And I would always be, you know, I think they probably pulled my parents in to say, I think something's wrong with your daughter. Like, because I just, you know, I don't know. It's so weird. Because there's a lot of weird stuff, man. Everything, when you get past something and you can look back, it gives you so much more perspective on things. It's so weird. It's so weird as you do your healing. I just saw it was so dark over there. I was like, oh, that's weird, but a light must have burnt out. I have like night lights all around my house. That is probably why I don't know, I don't really like to have the bright lights on because they bother my eyes so much. But I have night lights all around, and now just with the LED situation, and these are all fucking LED. It's like, these are probably causing me so many problems. And I've seen so many people talking about that too, that they're having so many problems with their eyes. I know I was just getting it sooner just because of the treatments they've done on my eyes, because every motherfucking treatment this Western medicine does is just to make you worse. There's nothing to make you better. And, you know, the whole thing with older people too. And I have seen I saw this one younger woman, and she was saying that her older neighbor had asked her for a ride or something. And so she went and took her to get something. And so she was watching how other people were treating this woman. And so then she started noticing her own biases and started seeing like, oh my God, the way we treat old people is, you know, we treat them like they're kids. And that is like, people have been taught to be so disrespectful, especially in this country. And I know it is to keep them away from like wisdom, because you learn as you go through life and you get older, you've got wisdom. You've learned some shit. They don't want the younger people to have access to that wisdom, so they got to create division. And then, you know, part of their marketing for that whole campaign to, you know, droid world is that they need to get the older people to accept that and to not heal their problems, be bitter and angry, and to be on tons of meds that are aging them way faster, and to kind of put it into their psyche, you know, like how I talked about so many times, how in movies, you know, they'll have some actor who's like 85 playing a 60-year-old. It's like, this is absurd. They're putting it into their heads that once you're 60, like, so somebody who's 40 and who keeps watching that shit in movies, and then by the time they're 60, they've already put it in their head. They've created the vision of self by what they've programmed you to believe. And so you have so many old people who are just programmed. They're just a product of this environment. You know, they aren't living their best selves. They're not living their true selves. But that doesn't mean they don't have wisdom. And so many are so affected by the long-term chemicals. And, you know, the stuff with the Alzheimer's and dementia and stuff, that's all created. And how much of the, you know, I mean, it just keeps coming out over and over and over so much about the testing that they have done on all of us, all humans, for so long, and how they just continue. What did I see yesterday too? It was another one. I can't even tell you how many things I keep seeing about this. Putting people to, the ones that they show more is the animal ones. You know, putting this little creature thing I saw, it looked like a monkey and a mouse. No, a monkey and a rat put together. Maybe it was a squirrel and a monkey, but it was like a monkey face, its hands, you know, because a monkey is about, but the squirrels, man, I've watched them out there. They're fucking good. The squirrels are like monkeys. They're similar. I bet you that there's something, I don't know, but this little creature, was some kind of mix like that. And then how they've now said, well, we've mixed man's sperm with, we impregnated a monkey with the man's sperm. Put an embryo in there with, that they mixed in the lab. That's what they want to do to everybody. I can't, this one is, it's this lab, called Gene Decoder or something like that. That is weird. It seems like it's kind of like that one guy's name that is, if you even, just having that guy's voicing your video can get your video taken down. Like, that guy is so gang stalked, watched. That's how I feel like right now. Like, fuck, I cannot believe how watched I am. Yeah, and the watch keeps you unwatched. Like, you're unwatched by a certain group because you're overly watched by another group. Like, it's ridiculous. I can't even believe. Oh, see, now, because there's two of them, and one of them has like 11 views and one has 15 views. Just because I tell people to come together and stand up for their rights. Like, they don't want that. I'm if I didn't feel like I had such a purpose, I would think I would be just drone shoot. They just come up here and shoot me right through the windows, which, if they do, they do. I fucking don't even. But I did get more excited when Flynn said that next year was going to be, where it's going to be. Oh, now I see why I'm here. Now I get it, which I hope, because this is the tedious painfulness of this, man. And not being able to be heard, and to just watch people struggle and watch people just be so confused. Yesterday too, the battles or whatever on TikTok just keep going. This one was this one lady who I hadn't seen her in a pretty long time. I think I quit following her. I think one time I saw her say something that I was like, oh, I'll follow her. Because I follow a lot of people where I feel like that they say something, someone be supportive. And then after that, everything I'd see her say, I was like, oh, no, I'm not in alignment. I'm not going to follow her anymore. And so I stopped following her. So that could be why I didn't see her, but I kept seeing her all the time. But the messing with my videos, I think, is mess with my whole algorithm, my whole feed. Like, I don't see, like, I don't know what all they do to my account. It's so manipulative. But so, when I would see her, she is, she's pretty. And so, it's, I don't know, some of these girls, she's definitely one of those spiritual people where I would say, she's got the gear, she's got the look. Like, she's the leader because she's got the gear and she's got the look. And they all want the same kind of thing or something. Because she's got like 365,000 followers or something. And so she was going on and saying something about how upset she was about the Tate situation, which I'm not going to say that anymore because I know we're not going to be able to talk about that because that is fucking blowing up like crazy. And so she was all upset about that. And so she was saying about that. Then this other girl who I've talked about before, who's totally paranoid. Every single celebrity is the opposite sex that they are. That every single person is a psyop. There's nobody here for humanity. It's nobody. And it's extreme. Her opinion or her view to me is so paranoid. And so I think I still follow her, because we're friends on there, you know, and I don't want to. The other person I was just had followed, we weren't friends. So this person, I didn't want to unfollow them. I was just like, I can skip their videos, you know, their opinion is their opinion. I don't have to. So she was stitching that girl's. And when she stitched it, because, you know, that guy's a total psyop. Yeah, and I don't know. The only thing I know about this guy is he's like a kickboxer or something. And some of the stuff he said, I don't know if he's talked about being anti-government or if he's spiritual. I don't really know what his deal is or who he is. I've just seen him a few times, but I don't follow him or know anything about him. So this one lady, she's just like, starts lecturing this, who she stitched, because these stitch battles are just, they're crazy. And so she is like, I guess you haven't noticed that I stitch your videos all the time. I keep trying to tell you. I keep trying to talk to you and tell you this stuff. And she goes through her whole lecture to explain to her how this PSYOP situation works, how they're all, Candace, all of them, Kanye, all of them. There's nobody here for humanity. We're all on our own. They're like, and so when I was seeing that, I was like, oh, so this girl's going against this girl. And so I was just kind of curious, like, since she was brought back up to my attention, I was like, you know, I am kind of curious. What are these spiritual, you know, the ones with all this influence? What are they saying or talking about on here? And because I see where people will say stuff about them, and it's never good stuff. Like, man, the stuff going against spirituality, new age spirit, like it's mental. I've seen videos like, if you hear anyone say these words, new age, 5D, love, light worker, like, oh shit, run, they are the devil. Like, it's fucking mental out there. And so when I went on to look at hers, I was like, you know, is she trying to help people heal? Is she trying to, you know, what is she trying to tell people? And so I was like, what in the holy hell? Yeah, fucking, yeah. One of her videos was very up close, super up close, of her stomach, groin kind of area. You know, that kind of, if you're super skinny, how it's like kind of goes like, you know. So it's super close up to that. And leather pants being buttoned. A midriff shirt thing. What was that? Midriff shirt. Because there was a lot of skin. Maybe it was just a bra top or something. And then with this like Stevie Nicks vest or something. I don't know. It was a whole ensemble that you watch her putting on from a certain view, going kind of from that kind of groin, looking up a little bit, and then doing a lot of jewelry and stuff, you know, all of that. And then the song is If You Want Me, Tell Me, or Do You Want Me, or If You Want Me Back, or something about wanting this person. And in this whole thing about this sexy outfit, I'm getting ready. And then all of a sudden she gets back and starts doing a lot of like, yeah. And oh, please, Lord, please. The shallow, oh God, I don't even, like, I don't even, I just, like, it is so clear why we have to have things go in the other direction. Like, are you freaking kidding me? The spiritual thing, and how many of these people who are, you know, now they're like, spiritual is just like a religion. you have to do this and this, and you know, so you got all these people who are turning against spiritual because you got these people who are out there. Look at me. I've been a vegan for 20 years, and you know, like I'm fit, and I'm, you know, okay, okay, I, I don't even know, God, how do you even? So I feel so judgy, like, because to me, like a true spiritual, like there is no rules or laws. Like spiritual is your spirit. That's what it's all about. Just your spirit. It is you looking at life through a spirit perspective, the more than what you believe this world to be. Like it's, you know, shouldn't be all these rules. I don't know where these people all are coming up with the rules, but just nonstop. People with their, you know, there's experts on ascension, there's experts on all of this shit. And these people, you know, these people, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. So, it's kind of like turning people away from the truth, you know, literally, because it is, I don't even know. I don't get it, you know, and I know it is all part of this purging out, you know, when you see this spiritual, you know, guru, you know, the super spirit out there who, you know, and their whole thing is like, a video of them possibly looking sexy, possibly looking astute, like in deep thought. And then some words about good ways you can live, how you should live your life. A little thing right here telling you as you look at this person. That is your spiritual. These are the ones who are out there who are leading the path. So to me, you know, I can see the universe little, you know, pulling the out of the hat kind of trick that's going to be going on here pretty soon. Like I'll be shocked if there isn't like this all of a sudden big spin where those people are going to have to do their ego work. They're going to have to see their truth. They're going to have to look at things in a deeper sense. You know, I don't know where their spirit is speaking to them. Just like how many of the different ones, like you've got people who are out there who are totally marketing themselves as psychic empaths and all that. And, you know, have every single one and tell everybody, you better go get yours right away. You know, we gotta be careful. And so, you know, there has to be this other influence that's going to come, you know, and I know, you know, I don't come up with this shit on my own. Like you know, I'm freaking being told shit all day long. And so, you know, I don't know where these people get their information. I don't know why. I don't understand. Like, if you're marketing yourself as being spiritual, what is do you have a spiritual connection anywhere in there? Like, are you connected to your spirit? Do you have mind, body, spirit, like, connection? Are you finding balance in your life? You know, and how many of these girls, like, it's coming so much to the surface, these girls need to have, you know, somebody come in. They're looking for something. Like, they're looking for something, you know. I don't know. You know, maybe they're just maybe she's just trying to market herself as, like, you know, a model or something, like, but then why have your audience be about spiritual? Like, why not just go work on your modeling career if that's what you're trying to do? I swear to God, I probably have a worm trying to get on my nose. God. I had something wiggling by my eye earlier. There's something, feels like something wiggling in my nose now. See, that's why I can't watch some of this stuff. It gets in my head. And I have been doing the diatomaceous earth each day since this nonstop raining and her getting sick and stuff and feeling like, oh my God, the parasites. And it has made less snot. So, because Vortex was saying about the mucus thing too, and when she did her cleanse, that it was cleared up the mucus. And I hadn't even noticed that, but I do think that there is less mucus stuff in here. But I swear to God, there's something. I wish it would just hurry up. Wouldn't that be so fucking crazy if it just started crawling out of my nose while we're sitting here doing this? I saw one yesterday. It was a woman, and they have those nanny cams or whatever. My daughter is like, maybe we should get some for. No, I do not. Just having that one dog one that would turn and look at me. No, now it looks out the window. I took out my fucking Google thing too, because it would start fucking talking or listening all by itself. It was creepy as shit. And but so this is like a nanny cam of that in the house or whatever. And so she was sitting on the couch, like just sat down, and there was the TV, and suddenly there's this loud crash. She jumps up, and you could see something down the hall, like a loud, like a flash of light or something. So then the next part, she's outside, and a giant tree fell through the house. Only her house was way bigger than mine. Like, when I was looking at that and seeing the size of the tree, because they had big trees like these, and seeing the damage to the house, like there would not be a safe place in here. Like, that would not be. Like, I couldn't believe it. Was like, no fucking way. And it couldn't hold anything. Like, the weight of the tree, it went all the way through, all the way down. Like, our fucking house was the total wreck. She had like one side of the house over here where she was at, and then the other side was just like smashed down. And when she looked out, it looked like it was kind of in a neighborhood, not like mine. Hers looked more spread out, but like you could see them out a bit. You know, I know for one thing, I always felt more secure because the trees, the problem is that they keep destabilizing the trees the way they do the building. And so then the wind on the outside of the forest, so the trees on the outside, because they protect themselves on the inside. So I have all of my trees. So I felt okay because they, I kept all mine, and the people who cut theirs down and stuff like that, that seems, then you have this giant tree with nothing around it to keep it stable. And so, there's been lots of situations, but I was like, well, I'm keeping mine. My guides show me this thing, the trees need each other. And then think about, they show me the forest, like, you don't have trees just all down. And so then, you do, but not, it's like a tree, super dead and rotten. So that is why I think they've come into a system, and then they sprayed them, because now all my trees are, and how much it's raining, I can't even fucking believe it. I can't, I'm sure there's going to be more down trees and road washouts again. Like, and today it said that it was supposed to be 18 miles an hour winds in the trees. I was like, motherfucking, ugh. It is so scary when you look up at the trees and they are blowing. And then just knowing how unstable they are now. It's like, man, this is fucked, dude. Oh, God. I just want this to, to hurry and something. I don't know why. It just keeps seeming like when things change, there won't be such an assault on the weather. Like, we're still going to have volcanoes and earthquakes and stuff, but this nonstop with the raining and the floods and all of that, hurricanes and the wind and all that stuff that they're doing, then, this makes it fucking 10 million times worse. So if that were to stop, but still, like, it's going to go right back to back into, people freaking out over the truth and how so many people are so locked in. I just heard a thing where it said, like, 80% of the people have had at least one, and I'm so weirded out. Like, one of the things I can't stand to watch either, so I didn't watch the whole thing, and it might have been that gene decoder lab or whatever, where it was showing like the little half monkey, half whatever the hell it was. But the more stuff that they are, they're they think it's so ethical. It's, to me, it's so unethical, the shit that they do. But the it was something with the labs, with the dang it. Oh, I just forgot now what I was gonna say. Damn it. Well, anyways, I don't know. The people, they just are so slow about being able to think. And I can see why they're going to just get so mad when they see, because they're being so tricked. Like, I just saw the funniest song, so funny. It's a Michelle Obama song, and it's really funny. It's got a little video too that goes with it, and it's super funny if you can find it. It's it was a catchy little thing. I even sent it to my one daughter because I was like, "This is true. Michelle is not a woman, and they did trick the whole world." So, let me think. There was something else, I swear to God, I was about to say, because there was like a whole bunch of little kind of things. There's more storms, of course, coming in now. Another storm whole thing is coming. But to me, the bank thing. Oh, there was another thing about that too. Somebody, I think something Trump said or something. Like, there is some more stuff that just keeps leaking out. Like, he said, oh, what was it? He was saying something, and he said, he said that America was built by the black man. And there will be, I think he said there will be reparations. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. There will be reparations. And there's another place that's giving reparations right now too. But the woman who was doing the video on it, she's all about Nasara. So she knew what was up. But to me, that whole thing with the black people, I think there's going to be, something's going to come out about all this. I swear to God that the white people were some sort of lab created. Like, and it's not to say that we aren't real, but the natural people to this place were attacked and taken over. And then they went and made like these little super soldier people to, oppress these people. And then, like, when you see, like, you got white people thriving in the suburbs, and you've got the fucking Indians living in reservations in poverty. It's fucking bullshit, man. It's total bullshit. And it's disgusting. And so, that, I think there's going to be a lot that is going to be coming out about that. But there is, I just seen somebody else also talking about something with the homestead thing. And so I think for sure that there is going to be a lot of reparations given back. And it's going to be because there's so much, there's so much instability here in our housing, especially, and our food supply. Like, those things are going to have to be handled right away. And the best way to handle them is give people a property. I mean, we got all this property, give people property, and then they have to go out and do something with it and, start growing their own food and shit. But I think that they're also going to, as I was thinking, I don't know if they'll give like a certain amount of money. Like, you get a homestead property, 5 acres, and, enough money to build a barn and a house, or a kit that comes with it or something. Like, there's going to be some sort of things that is going to be a big jump into the Jubilee for humanity, like, all of a sudden there'll be, and that will be where people start going and building communities. And but see, there's going to have to be some more trauma for some people to really be able to get along with anybody. There's so much still with division. Like, the people want to sit and argue with people that they don't even know on social media. Like, you don't even know this person. Like, I see somebody in there saying something I don't like. There was one yesterday, and she was one of the ones that was talking about, like, the new age people. If anyone says this, says this, or says this, and she's going through all this stuff, like, run, and, like, with the devil. And I blocked her. I was like, fuck, I don't want this girl. I was kind of curious to kind of see as she awakened, the transformation. But then I was like, man, there's so many of these people that are like that. And so many, man, it's so weird and chaotic how it is right now. This is very strange to see, like, what, the turn, how this is going to turn and go the other way, and then to see how people snap back. Like, it's very, very curious. And especially how many people who think that they're so awakened, they're so woke, they're so, they've got it all going on, and they're just judgmental and egotistical. Like, I know I'm judgmental. Some I'll call myself out if I catch myself, because I don't want to be judgmental. Like, I get that there's a bigger thing at play on this planet. I get that there's a design to it all, and that there's a purpose, and each soul has their own. And in this game, that there's still this whole part, though, this 3D, and I have a part to play. And so the part I'm here to play is, as a teacher, is somebody to help people to find their best selves. And so, I know, what my thing is for. So then, once it is, it's like, once the humanity is ready for that, then it's like the teacher will be there when the learner is ready. So that's what I was like. It's kind of like we're all those of us who are like that are in that position. We all feel like it's, you're waiting at the gates for the race to start, because we're all ready. And how the tediousness of waiting to get there, it's like, oh my god. But a lot of people who are out there marketing themselves as gifted, so many life coaches and spiritual guru coaches and all this shit, they're gonna put you on your right life path, help you to manifest $1 million and shit like that. So, all that stuff turns the other direction, because there's a whole thing that has to be seen. But then, so when you're going to build community, I don't know. You know, I know that everything is designed perfectly, and this is going to be the part, like what Flynn was saying, this is going to be the fun part of seeing how things are going to start going down. Like watching people go down that is going to be a blessing, I swear to God. Like it's disgusting, some of this stuff. Like at them putting the Crane of You flag in the Congress. And then we have that guy extorting money from us. Like, well, what about the taxpayers? What if we don't want to give him any more money? But we don't get a say over that because, Joe's going to do what Joe's going to do. And I can't wait to see who's under the mask. Boy, there sure is a lot of speculation about all that. And I think there's going to be several people who are under that mask. It is fucking heavy. Oh, I have been talking an hour. Hopefully I said something. I don't know. Some days I just feel like I'm just rambling. I swear. And yesterday I wanted to just go in and video just because it was weird. It was like, man, I need to have somebody to talk to. I don't remember what was the weird thing yesterday. It was like every day it's just this like, man, this is weird. This is so weird. I'll be so glad when something does happen because it feels, I don't know, it feels weird that there's supposed to be her coming on Tuesday, I think. So just having somebody else in the house to talk to and stuff, I'm sure is going to make me feel a lot more grounded to this world. But oh my God, I feel so weird. And everything to me just seems so strange. And anyways, I just keep on talking. I don't even have anything to say, I swear to God. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.